everyone, welcome back to TXC Tells All, or if it's your first time joining us, welcome to TXC. Today I want to talk about self-directed IRAs. Have you ever heard that term? Do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you, until recently I had no idea what it was either until I heard about it at a real estate investment meetup here in Houston, Texas. I started doing my research about what this is and what I can use it for and if it would be good for me and the goals that I have financially for the future. And there's so much information out there. I mean, if you just even look on YouTube or Google it, you'll find a bunch of information. But what I didn't see is just a rundown from a regular person like me trying to figure out their financial investments and talking about, is this good or not? Would this work for them? So that's what I want to do in this video. I've kind of compiled this information from so many different credible sources, and I want to share it with you and then talk about whether or not I'm going to go forward and open a self-directed IRA. So make sure you watch this video till the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button. We post new videos every single Sunday on TXC Tells All. Also, I think I'm going to probably do a part 2, maybe even a part 3 to this video, so that you can see what I decide to do, self-directed IRA, who I open it with, and all of that, and continue to get information on this topic. So make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so what is a self-directed IRA? And honestly, it's exactly how it sounds. So if you've seen my video on the differences between a Roth IRA and a traditional 401k, that kind of gives you some background into that type of investment. So I would suggest, if you haven't, make sure you check out TXC Tells All's video on Roth IRA versus traditional 401k. But a summary back to the self-directed IRAs. Usually when you invest in an IRA, you're investing with a brokerage firm that allows you to have this account to invest money into the stock market. And you can invest into different mutual funds, you can buy different stocks. Those are the options that you have available to you when you open a traditional 401k or IRA account. I have an IRA with Fidelity, so I'm familiar with having a Roth IRA with them, and we invest in different mutual funds and stocks through that Roth IRA with Fidelity. A self-directed IRA is a little different because you have the option to invest in things other than stocks and mutual funds and things that a brokerage account would allow you to. With the self-directed IRA, you can invest in real estate. You can invest, let's say, in a startup business. You can invest in a small business in your community. So those are things that you would not be able to use the money that is in your traditional, let's say, Roth IRA with a firm like Fidelity. You would not be able to invest in those types of things with that type of IRA. With the self-directed IRA, you can. So when it says self-directed, it is exactly that. There are some restrictions, and we'll talk a little bit about those later, but you have more autonomy over what you're using your money to invest in, and that's why it gets the term self-directed. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the things that you can invest in with the self-directed IRA, mentioned real estate, startup businesses. When I say real estate, I mean property and also passively investing. So TXC Tells All had done a video on making money while you sleep, or making your money grow while you sleep, and passively investing in real estate. Make sure you check that out. That is something else that you would be able to do with the self-directed IRA. Now, the things that you can't do with the self-directed IRA, because this is prohibited by the IRS, would be you cannot lend money through your self-directed IRA to a family member's business. So let's say your sister is starting a new business and you want to invest in that. You cannot do that through your self-directed IRA. You cannot purchase your primary residence through your self-directed IRA. You can't even purchase a home, let's say a secondary home, that you were going to rent out but also live in. You would not be able to do that through your self-directed IRA. So one very important thing about the self-directed IRA is you have to be careful about the types of investments that you use the funds in your self-directed IRA to invest in. A self-directed IRA is usually controlled by a custodian, so you would rely on that custodian, especially if you're unfamiliar with how a self-directed IRA works, to make sure that you are not violating any of the IRS's rules on what you can and cannot invest in through your self-directed IRA funds. So what is the basic pro of a self-directed IRA? It's tax deferred growth. So what does that mean? Let's compare a regular IRA to a self-directed IRA. In a regular IRA, let's say you invest in a stock. You buy a stock of Uber for $50, and that stock grows to be worth $100 for that share in Uber stock. That $50 that you earned is within your IRA. That growth is tax-free. The same goes for your self-directed IRA. Let's say you invest in real estate, you buy it for one price, and then profits grow over time. Those additional earnings that you make grow tax-free within your self-directed IRA. So that is the benefit. That's the reason that I'm looking into it, is looking for ways to limit your tax burden and still make money. Simple as that. So what's another pro of a self-directed IRA? You have more control over the return that you're going to get in your investment. So, for example, with my Fidelity Roth IRA, I am limited in what mutual funds are available or what stocks are available for me to invest in through Fidelity. With the self-directed IRA, I have the opportunity to choose what I'm investing my money in. Now, like I said, it's not unlimited. There are rules and things that you can and cannot invest in. But using the example of real estate, if I see a real estate property that I'm interested in, I should have crunched the numbers and know what type of returns that this real estate investment property is going to bring me within the next 2 to 5 years, or whatever the case might be. Usually those returns, if you do it right, are greater than the returns that you would get in the stock market, unless you happen to have a stock or a mutual fund that skyrockets. But you don't have any control over that. You don't know if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. With investments you make through your self-directed IRA, you've done the research, or you're investing with a real estate developer who you have seen that they have gotten their passive investors great returns, and now you're investing. So you've done some research and you have a little bit more information, and you have more control of your money through your self-directed IRA. So you can passively invest through the self-directed IRA, and then you can also decide to purchase a real estate property through your self-directed IRA. So there's just more options with the self-directed IRA than the traditional IRA. I will be honest with you, I'm probably going to keep both my IRA, my traditional IRA, and open a self-directed IRA, but at least it gives me more options with the self-directed IRA, especially that I'm interested in making more real estate investments. So like I said, y'all, this is a really brief overview of self-directed IRAs. I really just wanted to give a basic introduction as to what they are and what you can use them for. I promise I will do a part 2 on this video and give more detail into different custodians that I'm considering, and what their fees are associated with self-directed IRAs, so that you can kind of, have a complete picture of what you're looking at with the self-directed IRA. But I hope this introduction video was helpful. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video. Comment below if you have questions. And also make sure you subscribe to TXC Tells All, so that you can see part 2 and part 3 of this video. And also we post new videos every single Sunday, so stay tuned.